good evening, and welcome back to the One New Stream. I am Master Serial, and alongside me, no, this way is Count Doctor. How's the dark side treating you today?
Not good. It's not stopped raining for quite some time. And if I turn the exposure up on my webcam, it basically just crashes. It's a good time.
Wait, hang on. I'm
I
going to
get
turn up
I get a
my.
demonstration
I
coming
just
through.
really want to emphasize just how much on the light side I am.
Yeah, man. No, this is yeah. Look how much brighter it is in here all of a sudden. Isn't
Oh
this
wow! I see you're
isn't this
turning.
great?
What's Palpatine gonna say?
The absolutely fuming.
Yeah. Well,
Really
you
guacamole.
know, tell him to jog on,
But
bloody Palpatine.
what a
Terrible
cringe
guy.
lord, am I right?
Yeah. I
Here
think
we
he's
are
one of the
though.
bros as well. But yeah, back to
He
League,
was
I
until
think.
episode 9. Yeah, we got ourselves a third, fourth place match. We'll be having Heimerdinger Fan Club, who we just saw lose in our previous game. They'll be coming up against Team again, playing against each other best of one for that coveted third place, before we then go on to the finals, a best of three, which will be up against YIA and ROI.
And there is no again for Team Again. I will be using that multiple times because this is the final again for them. It is the third place match. There is nothing beyond this, and we'll see what they can do against Heimerdinger Fan Club. And
Hmm.
Doctor, I know you, myself as well, we weren't huge fans of the fan club's draft. I mean, a lot of APs, a lot of mid lane supports being picked up in that first rotation.
Hmm. Yeah, so there's a couple of whoopsies here and there. Again, just need a little bit something is actually bring a bit of damage to the fights other than the initial burst. But other than that, they're playing relatively okay. Just got a little bit punished out in some of those lanes early on, by the Lee Sin and such. We tweak it a little bit, get ourselves a little bit of early power, maybe something with some sustained damage here or there, and I'm sure we'll be having a grand old time.
I'm sure we will be having a pretty decent time. So far, so good. I mean, YA took a fairly comprehensive victory over the fan club. We'll see how they can do or against ROI and whether maybe ROI get their return on whatever investments they have made in
Mm.
this tournament. But for now, we're just waiting for the players to ready up before we head on into draft. Are there any cool, spicy pickups that you are maybe potentially excited to see, Doctor?
I saw one clip on Twitter yesterday of someone
Okay.
playing Stridebreaker Kiana jungle, and I'm like, that might be a
Stridebreaker,
thing. Stridebreaker
Kiana,
Kiana, yeah.
Jungle.
I was like, that might be cool.
See, I kind of
That
wanted to
could be
go with,
quirky.
those are three useless words in League, but Stride Breaker's actually good, so I can't
Mm.
really do that. That's sad. So, do you want to explain why Stride Breaker Kiana is good
I don't
over?
know.
I'm guessing Prowler's Claw. Yeah,
I didn't see
you don't
it.
know. It's just like I just saw this on a
I just
stream.
watched. I just watched the clip of the guy getting the quadra kill. I mean, it checks out, right? Because
Yeah,
she
true.
already dashes herself in, and you just do something a bit more tanky, and you just be annoying
Hmm.
with what you call it, with her like grass camouflage, and you just sort
Oh
of
yeah.
get in people's faces a little bit. You're not trying to one bang anyone, just being a sustained threat that also can't really die. So you're kind of
Okay.
chilling.
Actually, what do you think is cooler? Do you think Twilight Shroud of Akali or the grass Edge of Ixtal camouflage?
I mean, the grass has more counterplay, right? So,
The grass is more counterplay.
well, she can only walk out of it once. I mean, it gets a bit
Ah,
cringe when
true.
her CDs get so high that she can almost like permanently chain it. But
I,
for the most part,
I mean, you say you can only go into it once, but as an Akali, realistically, how many times are you going in and out of that shroud? Like two times, maybe
I
three.
I cannot speak as an Akali's perspective. I
Mm.
unfortunately have friends, so it's just not really something that I'm too well versed with. You know,
Like, I mean, it's not exactly like we're talking about Vayne Top, is it? Or
I do
Quinn
like
Top.
playing top. That's just funny.
Okay, well, that would explain. Well, then you
I don't
don't
play
have any
top.
friends, do you?
Well, yeah, okay. I lied a little bit earlier on, but I haven't played Vayne for a while. I used to love busting out Quinn, just like, especially versus like Riven players. Quinn
Yeah.
Top's just like hee hee.
I
But I
mean, to be
think
fair, against Riven
nowadays
players,
it's
I think anything is acceptable.
well, yeah. But now Doran Shield and what was it, Second Wind exist, so it's like There's nothing. You've got a good 5 minutes, and then you're just getting outscaled.
I just thought of a skit. I just thought of a really funny skit. Have you ever watched this banger of a show called Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Of course. Who
Okay.
hasn't?
I would you like to see me roleplay Jake Peralta?
All right, go for it, Chief.
Okay, turn your mics down a little bit. Ah! You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Just like with a literal psychopath here, like.
I mean, you know the scene I'm talking about, right?
I know the scene. I don't know how it's like relevant or
Look,
anything,
okay,
other
no,
than
no, no, no.
these just the
I just
ramblings
thought
of a
skit.
madman.
I thought of a skit. I dropped the skit in. Okay,
Yes.
we're in picks and bans apparently. These have been sneaky bans that have been coming through. Look at that.
They
Yole,
speed ran it. They
Yeah,
speed ran it.
They speed run it
Really
without
did.
a doubt.
Looked down, I saw they had
It's
like 2 bands done. I was like, I'll let Milky finish his
it's because
therapeutic
my skit,
guitar experience.
It's because my skit was so good. I mean, we wouldn't want to attract attention away from the main show, right?
Yeah, sure it was, Chief. All right. We got ourselves some
Okay.
Legend League blazing through the bands already.
Oh yeah.
But we still, as we said last game, we got the power picks with Gwen, Viego, Karma, Ezreal, and then Nocturne was also mentioned. And talk about new stride breakers. Do you have to talk about Nocturne? The guy gets pretty nutty with that item.
And Nocturne can turn the lights out. He can dash around wherever he so pleases. Oh, just in case Nocturne wasn't saucy enough, Nocturne and a Gwen both picked up on red side. Imagine if they get the Viego too. This is just going to be getting a little bit too disgusting for my liking.
And that is somewhat the power of a red side right now. There's so many premium picks that, you can just sort of get more of them when you're having that second rotation, that second pick. But worth noting that the Nico was banned out last game. That was taken away from Heimerdinger Fan Club. They were not allowed to play that. And this time round, it's a B1 first pick. So maybe this is something that they are feeling, particularly comfortable on.
And again, they've banned away the Heimerdinger, and we remember YIA didn't ban the Heimerdinger. So I'm wondering if again are now playing into Heimerdinger Fan Club's, into their win condition. You ban away the Heimerdinger, maybe this just gets something stirring up within them.
Yeah, they're really now truly enraged that the Heimerdinger has been denied. As Renekton comes on through, which is, I think, a reasonable matchup versus the Gwen, but you do have to make sure you're going for, something like Ignite up there to get yourself that little bit of extra kill pressure, and then if you're the Renekton, you're overstepping, suddenly Nocturne's turned up in your lane, and it goes downhill very quickly. The Gwen does eventually outscale you. It's almost like Gwen's kind of a crazy OP champion, so we have to keep an eye on that matchup, see how it goes, but never mind, because that isn't Ornn, so either one of those could be going on into the mid lane, but I think Renekton's kind of happy either way.
Yeah, so I do wonder, is there a very, 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 very slim possibility of maybe Nico going bot, Nico Yumi bot lane, or just garbage?
Nah. I mean, okay. Well, we said a lot of things about who would be going bot lane last game for Heimerlinger's fan club and how that would go. But very unlikely you're running Nico Yumi. Nico's a burst mage. So you want someone to help accentuate that. You want a bit of engage or a bit of CC to lock people down inside her burst and her CC. You don't want an enchanter. Yumi's in it for the long haul. She's got an attack speed steroid that Nico doesn't care about. She doesn't have CC to lock people down into Nico's burst, and she's good for long fights because she has a heal and she has attack speed. She's not good for short burst trades, which is exactly what Nico wants. That's why you want to pair it up with something like a Leona instead if you are sending the Nico down bot.
Okay, Leona Nico, Swain Nico, Draven Nico. I actually had to play against Draven Nico once. It was not pleasant at all. But we've got the Nocturne, we've got the Gwen in. The Nocturne could be going jungle, could be Gwen jungle, Nocturne mid. I personally like that latter alternative just because it means Nocturne can push in waves, roam around, join his jungler for those ganks, for those dives. And I do like the composition from, again, so far.
Yeah, it's stacking up a little bit nicely. They got a good bit of dive going right now. That's going to depend really. Again, is it going to be the Ornn mid or the Gwen mid? I'm thinking most likely Gwen mid because Ornn mid is not something we've seen for a very long time, but some people, still do like to bust it out on occasion. But I think that what basically ends up being confirmed into the bot lane is what's going to make or break this game.
And is this Pyke going to be picked up? I mean, there are a few things that really, really counter Yumi. Looking at you, Leona, Thresh already taken away. Blitzcrank is another really big pickup. The static field locks her in place so quickly, but it is actually the Galio taken. So you can really see the team comp. Well, the team comp that has been set up from again is now Olaf. We know how good Olaf is with Yumi. Just speeds up the Olaf.
Yeah.
Olaf with Ragnarok, and you can't stop him.
Yeah, it's pretty good versus, Ornn and Galio as well. These kinds of tanks, you just sort of sprint straight through them. You're having a pretty good time. The Galio, it's a bit interesting to say that Galio will be going down on the bot lane, you would have to assume. But then, sort of same thing they were saying last game, that Galio's good versus engage. He's good versus diving carries. And Yumi isn't really one of those. So that makes life a little bit harder for the Galio.
It does. I mean, to be fair, if the Yumi ever jumps off in a bad way, Galio can just flash an insta-taunt. And then Justice Punch on top. Pretty quick kill, depending on what gets paired up with the Galio, right?
Yeah, but also no. Yeah, but if that's the plan, then just pick Leona. Just pick Nautilus.
True. I agree. I think Leona's better, but we'll have to see what gets paired with it. The Kai'Sa is good. I mean, we saw in the previous game how well a Galio can pair up. And when you've got an Ornn and a Galio, very strong team like Kalista. Oh, I like this. But again, the Leona could be so nice with Kalista. But then, the Galio is a good... I like this Galio. Sure, it's in...
Look, the Galio's fine, but it's just you don't pick Galio into Yumi because there are better options. I kind of actually like the Kai'Sa because then you can say, oh, we're just going for a long-range dive comp, you know? Nocturne, Ornn, Galio, Kai'Sa all have a lot of ways to get in at range. The Kalista kind of nips that one in the bud, but Kalista Galio, still a pretty strong lane. And Vayne Yumi, very passive, very weak early on. So I like that they're trying to sort of bully it out a little bit, put the screws to him in that regard. But, if we're getting one kill onto this Vayne early, one misstep underneath the tower or an early gank from the Olaf, a dive gone wrong, suddenly this game snowballs like mad for Heimerdinger fan club.
I'm just going to say one thing, right? Because, again, I want to go to the Leona because I agree that Leona is better. But here's the thing. As a Leona main myself, one of the best Leona players in all of EU West, I can say, and I can testify, that the Leona E, the Zenith Blade, is one of the most difficult abilities to land in the entire game. So, honestly, I'm not really surprised here that that Insensitive has decided to go for the Galio because, even a Leona Q, right, you might say, okay, why don't we just flash Q onto the Yumi? And I'd say, yes, that is a very good point. But here's the thing. You could accidentally Q a minion. Whereas with a Galio, you flash W. You can't miss the W, right?
Well, I mean, you could also just, target champions only. It's not...
Okay, yeah, but who does that?
It's right. I mean, I do.
Who does?
You know.
You do.
And I do it on Rek'Sai, and then I forget that I've got it on, and then I try to take my tunnels, and I can't, and it all goes downhill very quickly. I don't know why that's a thing, but it's very sad nonetheless.
Issues already. Issues.
Yeah, everything really just falls apart.
Right. Second point, you could flash Q, target champions on, but you hit the wrong champion. There you go.
It's called being bad.
Yeah, exactly.
It's called deserving to take the L.
It's just a difficult champion. But, okay, let's look at Heimerdinger.
I would not say Leona's a difficult champion.
She is the most difficult champion in the game. That's why I play it, because I challenge myself.
And if I just go www.eus.op.gg /summoner /username /milky cereal.
You're lucky that that is actually my account now. See, guys, this is how you get your co-caster to check out your op.gg.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is where he notices that I've become a Rakan fan lately.
I've noticed the 30% win rate is what I'm noticing.
On who?
Just in general.
Oh, yeah.
Over the last 10 games. It's been a rough week.
I was on like a 65% win rate on Leona until like a month ago, and then I hit my bad streak. Now it's coming back up, actually. But
play Seraphine.
Look, it's not my fault. Nothing's working. I'm like, let's play Seraphine, and I start winning games. I'm like, oh, all right, then more Seraphine. Let's go. At least you're not seeing it last year, back when I actually spammed a fair bit of Yumi.
Despicable. Holy moly! I went 1 and
You know
6
what?
in my
You know
last
what,
game. I can't
guys?
talk.
Guys, since I'm getting flamed by my analyst, I'm just gonna go to eus.op.gg/usernames and name equals doctor.
It's not me.
See, he doesn't even have an account
Saved.
with his name. That's how much of a noob
Saved.
Doctor is. He doesn't even have an account
My
with his
name
name.
is goated, dude.
In fact, let me just
I don't
check,
need the name Doctor.
let me just go and check, the team that he was coaching, eus.op.gg/team performances.
Yeah, that's not going to be
what
me.
was it? What was it? What was
My
it again?
my
7
OPGG
AM
is not
Academy.
my OPGG is not tied to that account, dude.
I'm not. I'm just saying like team performances.
Yeah, you want team performances?
Uh,
We didn't win a single game, but we came 7th out of 8th in the league because the team that had one more win than us quit when they realized that their last game didn't matter, so they got disqualified. So we won by
But
default.
you guys are 7 AM, so you kind of wanted to come 7th because
We did want to
me,
go 0-7. Like 0-7 a.m. was a good meme.
and you did it.
And we pulled it off. We
Mission
did it, guys.
accomplished.
We absolutely crushed it out there. Has to be said.
But against comp, we'll talk more about it later. I'm sure we will. Let's talk a little bit about Heimerdinger fan club.
Heimerdinger.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
Heimerdinger
there is
go
no Heimerdinger.
burr.
Heimerdinger goes burr.
comp.
Well, more specifically, Olaf Yumi go burr in this game.
Yes. Well, and the Renekton and the Vayne. You got a lot of people that want to sort of run forward. The hard part is actually going to be getting Shrimp into the middle of the team on that Nico. Because,
Flash.
yeah, pretty much, right? That's your option. It's like Flash and Proto Belt. Everyone else is going a little bit further in than Shrimp would like. But in terms of, other than that, and obviously the Nico just being a pure comfort pick, that's why it was banned last game. That's why Shrimp, picks that one B1 first pick blind. But, the Nico aside, you look at the rest of the comp, and this is just a real standard front to back. We're just going to sprint at you at maximum velocity comp, and I think that's fine.
And we know this Yumi wants to be sitting on the Olaf, but my question is, how early does this Yumi jump on the Olaf? Because if the Yumi's on the Olaf from early on, the Olaf can look mid. There's some gank potential onto the Gwen if they can get the stun through the Hallowed Mist. Of course, top side as well, Renekton super strong early. But do you want to be leaving your Vayne to farm alone into a Callista Galio?
Well, exactly, right? It sort of depends where you're at. You also don't want the Yumi to leave lane too early because then you're just hemorrhaging XP. Now, solo XP over to Vayne is pretty nice, but it's just something you see quite often, especially in like solo queue or lower elos, where Yumi's like, "All right, peace out, guys," and they go attach to a jungler. It's like, cool, you're now 4 levels down on the game. Everyone else has got like 2 ranks in their ult. You haven't even learned it yet. Like, sometimes people get a little bit keen when it comes to roaming on their supports, and Yumi makes it that much easier to lose all of your XP. But yeah, you don't want to be leaving that Vayne alone down on bot. But, you don't need to. It's the later stages where the Yumi will start kicking in. But also, what's the Yumi going to do versus Callista Galio in lane anyway, Like, you're healing up a little bit for the Vayne. You're there if you get dove, but other than that, the Yumi's not doing a lot, which is kind of why, I wasn't too much a fan of the early Yumi lock. But it definitely does have potential with the comp as the game goes on.
Yeah, and I remember one game that I had to play for my team as support, and we had to play against an Irelia Swain bot. So,
Ooh.
as well as being the player, I was also technically drafter of the team because, I thought drafting was fun back then, even though I was terrible at it, although I wouldn't admit it at the time. So I thought, okay, right, if we're going against Irelia Swain, what do we want to do? Okay, well, the Irelia is going to want to dash on us, so we want to be able to stop that. We also need a way to be able to dodge the CC. So I was like, you know what? Let's go. I think we did Vayne Braum or Vayne Leona, something like that.
I would have said like Callista Braum or something, or even like Callista Kench, who has been like, yeah, that's we'll just dodge the things and bully the melee, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but we went Vayne. It sadly didn't work out.
Oh, no.
I'd like to blame my ADC for tumbling into every single flawless duet. But it probably was a bad matchup. Then we ended up playing the same team again in playoffs, and we went like Ash Leona, and then we just snowballed on them and won. So it was like, yeah, gotta match aggression with aggression sometimes, folks.
Well, that's not going to be the case in the bot lane for.
I have no idea why
I
said drop this.
I don't know where that one came from, but yeah, having a fan club and not getting aggressive right now in the bot lane. In the top side of the map, maybe.
Yes.
As you know, the Olaf versus Nocturne up in the jungle, I think is obviously Olaf clears faster. He can yoink away a couple of counts from Nocturne. It's really at level 6, so that goes very much in Olaf's favor. But before then, he is going to need to be a little bit careful. You know, you don't want to run into a jungle and just immediately get feared by the Nocturne. Also, though, in the mid lane, I'm pretty sure that Gwen kind of breaks Nico's ankles as long as she can dodge Nico's route. But you think that Nico wants to stay far away from people, and Gwen wants to get in close. And if Gwen gets in close, then she can put out her damage. And also, Nico's route isn't passing through anything extra, so it's not getting extended. If they're far apart, then Gwen's just blocking all the damage with her Shroud anyway. So it's kind of like a lose-lose for Nico in this situation.
Nico's route's extended if it hits a target?
It's extended if it passes through 2 things before it hits like the champion, you know?
Okay.
So you pass through 2 minions or more, and then it's sort of like it changes color and it gets longer range and longer duration.
Ah, I did not know that. So it's kind of like similar to Seraphine ult then, but slightly different.
Yeah, but power crept. Or, you know, Seraphine ult's the power crept version of
Yeah.
Okay, except for it extends on minions as well as champions, but also Seraphine ult doesn't get a duration.
All this time,
buff.
I was trying to hide from Nico Tangle Barbs using minions. Alas, but we are heading
That's
into
why
game.
I hate Nico. So I hate Nico, I hate Zyra.
Oh, Zyra. Oh, don't
You
mention
can't dodge
Zyra.
a bit. I'm like, oh, because I don't play bot, I have a hard enough time as it is when versus like Thresh or Blitzcrank. So I'm like, oh, just stand behind the minions, and then they hit you through the minions. You're like, hang about. Now I'm sure this has something to say about like wave control, but I'm too auto-filled for this. Like,
I mean, I like playing Thresh and Blitzcrank, and Zyra's just a pain.
it's like saying Gromp never hits me with a skill shot. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Grom never what?
hits me with a skill shot.
True.
Jungle's safe. No, in any case, we dive in any second now. Let's get up into the rift for our 3rd, 4th place match. Heimerdinger Fan Club over on the blue side, up against Team again on the red.
I'm going to try not to overuse the joke because I was about to do it, so I'm keeping myself in check because otherwise I would be a very bad boy. But in we go. And over on the red side, we have, again, over on the blue side, we have the Heimerdinger Fan Club. It looks like we're getting a bit of a stack from, again.
Well, we got a little something going on. Oh, no, Yuumi, don't go in there. They haven't gone the sort of the long way round, so Leo will see them here. The issue is, doesn't have Flash, doesn't have Boots, but curves it around the wall, but gives over the XP, 10 gold to the Callista.
That ward was up for quite a while, to be fair.
Huge.
GG, well played.
Huge advantage. Lane already over.
I think we go FF.
Wow.
Found a way
Also,
to use it.
Worth noting what's going on. Shrimp has gone for the old ignite, so no TP going back to a lane. All burst all the time, and Ghost TP has taken neither of those summoners, and has instead gone for the Flash TP. Also, he has got a TP part, yeah. But there's not the TP Ignite that you would often see from, you know, like a top lane Gwen. Yeah. Playing it a little bit safer here on mid.
I mentioned summoners using the bottom lane biblical with the exhaust, Ignite for insensitive. Celestial's gone with the healer. For some reason, I was thinking that we might be seeing a cleanse from the Vayne, just to be able to deny the taunt from the Galio. Or, well, that's really it, the taunt from the Galio.
Yeah, that's kind of all you've got going for you there. Which tries over heal. Makes a little bit of sense. You can heal to get out the way of the Galio, when you think about it.
I guess.
Get yourself a little bit of extra space.
Well, so far, just trading and the Callista Galio are able to step forward. Celestial knows that they can't get too aggressive as Howling. Low, but he can't find the Stegosaurus because Stegosaurus is in his minion wave. Fury is starting to stack up for Renekton. As soon as he hits level 2, you know he wants to go in.
Making his way up forward at some point. Very nice trades coming out from that Callista earlier. What's going on top lane? Why is Howling so low?
You know what? I need to put him forward. He's very good at understanding why Renekton struggles level 1 in the match.
Well, he's level 2. He had the level advantage. I think he just sort of like sent it under tower.
Very potentially.
On that one.
The
Oh, no, 3 pots have been used by Stegosaurus. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
It's
In
not
that case,
actually
very
that
good
low.
job. Very good job from Howling to get those kills. Oh, the clapping. Will it come through? Stegosaurus doing so much damage. Howling can turn this around. Stegosaurus going in, a couple more autos would be enough. First blood for Stegosaurus. And he doesn't need any more corrupting potions.
And that's not where you want to be as the Renekton. First is an Ornn. Now both junglers up on the top side as well. Looks like, I think we go FF is maybe looking to turn up on this gank. And oh, Stegosaurus, he dashed forwards. Right as that TP got
Howling
committed.
going under tower. Is there the potential turnaround? Howling picks up the kill. And he's
But
gonna have
Nocturne's
to
there.
reset. Nocturne is here. Could this be the double kill for Jerome? I think we go FF. It's fairly low. And, well, that's so much damage. Jerome will be able to pick up the kill. And Howling, he could have used that time to back. But now, is he spotted? I don't know if we can toggle vision. But I think
He
he's
could
going
have
to get away
backed.
with this
He
one.
could have just dashed over the wall and helped out the homies as well. Nocturne not made of AoE, it has to be said. But he does eventually get out. However, he's already used his teleport to get back to that lane.
That's a big
now
wave.
he's being forced out again. Yeah, he's going to miss a lot. Let's see how big is that wave up in the top lane. He's going to miss an awful lot up there.
I think it was about 5 minions or so.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh,
And
yeah, actually,
there's
he's not missing
more
too much. It's a cannon. It's a
No,
cannon
it's
wave.
not crashing just yet, so he's somewhat lucky. But look at that minion deficit at the moment. 20
No.
between the two. This is not being good. Despite them having a kill, this has not been a good start to the game for the Heimerdinger fan club.
Yeah, that's not the Renekton diff that you are used to seeing up in the top lane. Meanwhile, on bot, more of the same story. 2-wave advantage over to Biblical and Insensitive already. Because, you know, it's a Kalista versus a Yumi. There's not really a lot going for the Heimerdinger fan club right now. So Biblical crash on in this wave, and you know what? Jerome's down on this bot side of the map. Drake spawning up in 10 seconds. We could just see a very early dragon, bearing in mind, you know, you have got a Kalista here, but Jerome playing the Nocturne, rather get that full clear going, get level 6 as soon as possible, and Biblical can go back and probably pick up some Zerks. Yep, there they are. And you get to be in a very good spot to do that Drake. In about 2 minutes, once Jerome has cleared out his jungle, maybe got an ult off on mid, possibly even top given how weak the Renekton is right now, and then you reset come bot, do the Drake.
And to go back to your point about the bottom lane, for Celestial and Leo, this is absolutely perfect for them. You know, it's just time for them to scale without being under too much pressure from Biblical and Insensitive. And this is why we think or thought that Leona would have been better as the engage comes through. He gets the taunt. Watch for the Kalista. You're not going to be able to find anything at all as Insensitive just ends up taking a huge chunk of damage. Meanwhile, Shrimp able to find a solo kill onto a Ghost. And, well, actually not solo kill because it doesn't look like the Olaf was there.
Yeah, Olaf got an assist out of that one. And now makes his way on through into jungle, trying to take away his own camps, but Jerome is waiting nearby. Jerome will have the support of Stegosaurus, but he won't have the support of his mid laner. Is spotted out, I think. I saw a ping come out from someone over there. What's going on up in topside jungle? Jerome is found out, but, you know, that's a level 6 Ornn.
It's party time. It is a level 6 on the board.
Oh,
The fourth one comes in. That's going to be a 2-man knock up, but the Ragnarok is in. Jerome flashes a Shrimp on his way. Howling, looking for the flank. Tangle Barbs will connect. And the Blooming Burst picks up the return kill for Shrimp. And again.
Yeah, fortunately, Ghost TP can teleport back in to even that one out, but I think we go FF secured the Gromp. He hits the level 6, not Jerome, and is ready to turn that fight around 2v3. Bit of a keen invade at the end of the day when yeah, you don't really have that strong of a... well, you don't have the support of your mid laner, as you say. But Ghost TP is able to TP back on over, and it's 1-for-1. Jerome actually, you know, blows out the ultimate. Well, not Jerome, but Stegosaurus blows the ultimate of I think we go FF. So now Jerome, as we said, reset, makes his way onto the bot side of the map, a little bit behind in XP because he didn't full clear his top side, didn't get the Gromp, so he didn't hit 6 quite just yet, but he'll hit it off of these 2 camps, and then he's in a really good position to look for a 3v2 or maybe a 3v3 down here on bot, whilst the Olaf doesn't have his ult.
And watch for the Flash Taunt to come in because that's going to be the call for the Paranoia. In they go. And down goes Celestial. Biblical finishes up the kill under tower. The thing we go FF shows up. The undertows are going to be huge. The health bars are low for the side of again. And Fan Club will find 1 in return.
Meanwhile, mid lane, got a little bit of action as Ghost TP flashes on forward, but cannot connect the snips. Does not take down Shrimpers. Now there's a bit more action on bot as they're just staying around, and I think we go FF just sort of walks under the tower and kills off Insensitive. And
Oh,
he
the
just
Ragnarok
gets
is available. You can't land the taunt there, Jerome. And that's 2 more kills before the Olaf. And Stegosaurus is going to be able to find the knock-up, looking for the brittle procs. Howling is forced to retreat under his tower.
That's a bit keen over on the bot side of the map there, and it's going to give him over complete control of the lane, and it allows the Heimerdinger fan club to make their way on over to this Infernal Dragon. And yeah, no bot lane out to help Jerome resetting, making it on the top side means that Infernal will again go over to Heimerdinger this time around. And now I think we FF still on the bot side of the map. Is he level 8? Holy moly, he's level 8.
There is a level 8 Olaf making his way down. Undertow not going to connect. Celestial taking a whole chunk of damage. Leo! Oh, I wish we could get a replay of that because his health, I'm pretty sure, went under 10 HP.
Oh, it went pretty low, but I do not believe we have the technology for this. As Biblical and Stegen are making their way downtown. The reset came out from, I think, we FF, so now there's a pretty scared bot lane. There's engage, just comes on
chapter. A locked Insensitive under tower, a couple of tower shots, not going to be enough. And you know what? I think Biblical and Insensitive will be more than happy to kill the Bane over the Yuumi.
Good lord. Good lord. That's a cheeky little bit of a, not solo bolo, but bolo? I don't know, Jerome.
He's going to buy time for the call of the Forge God, but is there the turnaround from Stegosaurus? He's doing so much damage to Howling, but the Dominus has now been dropped, and this might just be 2 for the price of 1 for the side of the Heimerdinger fan club. Where you going, Stegosaurus? Olaf wants his moolah, and he goes onto the rampage.
And they'll be picking up a couple of plates on top as well. Maybe a Herald. However, Insensitive has the ultimate. He's in the area. Ghost TP just face checking out that Herald. Will be spotted on this ward.
Tangle Barbs are going to connect. The Hallowed Mist is dropped. Allow Ghost back out to safety. There was a little bit of a think around Rift Herald from the Heimerdinger fan club, but they decide Rift Herald looks a little bit too similar to Heimerdinger. They don't quite want to kill it.
It's always hard to hurt those who you love. It's Ghost TP. Throwing down his ultimate. Whoa.
He had the Pop Blossom available. He had the Ignite available. I thought he was going to go all in for that.
I want to look for it, but maybe not anymore. And, yeah, when we see... Oh, that's
a condemn. That's a condemn on the wall, but the final chapter, not up.
Doesn't do anything.
The heroic entrance is always a scary summon, and Insensitive and Jerome are coming down. No Paranoia available. This is just a straight up 2v3. Olaf making his way down. There's a teleport in as well. The final chapter with Lock Jerome, who drops down the spell shield. Too late, and it buys time for Howley to come in. Jerome surely will get bombed, but no, the defenses are massive. Celestial flashes away, but he will not survive, and he is turned back in the favor of again. I think we go FF. Gets the healing from the Yuumi. The Olaf healing is insane.
Oh no!
The shielding is disgusting. Triple kill for the Olaf.
And that's the Yuumi Olaf coming online just a little bit earlier than previously anticipated, as the fight is such a half commitment from again. Yeah, it looks like Jerome's caught out. They don't want to turn it around, don't want to have Insensitive immediately ult, but then when it looks like he might live, Insensitive drops. We get TPs in across the board, and yet again, the respect is not put on, I think we go FF's name. And you've got all these tanks, you've got all these melees. They are not able to get through him. The Callista needs to be kept alive. But Biblical goes down. I think just 1 or 2 more autos needed to finish off the kill with Rend. But because of how Callista works, you know, they don't get the extra auto. They don't cast the Rend, and it means that the majority of the damage doesn't go through. I think we go FF. Stays nice and healthy, and it's not even close at the end of the fight.
I just want to point out, Celestial had to heal available. Well, it's available now, so I don't know if it just came off cooldown or if you forgot to use it in the fight, because if you forgot to use it, that is a little bit of a move. And, well, until Heimerdinger fan club, or pardon me, until again are able to pick up some anti-heal, That Olaf and that Yumi are going to be massive.
Yeah, they're gonna get pretty spooky pretty quickly. I think we go FF is sitting on a ridiculous amount of gold. Not sure if he. I don't think he reset after that fight. As Stegosaurus. Ooh, you had to see that one coming just a little bit.
The timing, though, it cancelled the knock over the wall from the blast zone. I've never seen that interaction before.
But you had to see. They're like, okay, he's dropped the ult. He dropped the ult after losing vision, so you have to assume he knows where Howling is, or he's gonna throw it the one place Howling could be, which is like that area.
Yeah.
It's like maybe we just wait for that one before we hit the code. But... Oh my god.
But oh my god, from the tower back, you know.
Wow.
Tower-chan saying, don't touch my ADC.
But the buy from I think we go FF, look at his items. Basically bought the full. He just got like the full stride breaker, and now.
So the paranoia is going in onto the Vayne, but Vayne's going to be trying to kite back final chapter. There's a fighting time. Meanwhile, the Olaf just runs through Biblical, and this may very well be a thing from the Bible. The knock-up comes through, but the Galio cannot get out to safety. Neither can Jerome, as the Heimerdinger fan club are dominating the game.
Jerome choosing the 1v2 under the enemy tower because he knows it's safer from being faced with this Olaf right now. Is able to just completely run down Biblical and Insensitive. They get another Drake. He'll be moving on in, yoinking away a couple of camps as well. And like we said, this Olaf is very difficult to deal with for everyone who isn't Biblical. And now that he's got 9 kills, Biblical's not having a great time either.
That was the equivalent of Jerome as that scene that you see from a cartoon where someone's getting chased by the bad guy and they're just running for their life, and then they get to a cliff. The bad guy's getting closer, and then they just jump off the cliff.
Yeah, what cartoons have you been watching? Holy moly, that sounds...
Have you never seen that scene before?
Sounds morbid. No.
Have you not seen that before? Where they just...
Oh, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. No, people like, yeah, it's... Like, I think it happens in, like, Predators as well, which is a movie I've seen too many times. Yeah, Predators, plural.
Like Predator, like...
Yeah.
Arnie?
But this,
Predator?
well, not Arnie in this one, but that franchise. And I think it happens in Avatar as well, right? The blue Avatar is... There's a bit of action on mid.
Oh, great splash forward, the Undertoken X splash out from Shrimp. The Ragnarok for the movement speed, and Ghost will just get run down. There is no stopping the Olaf right now.
He's just a little bit strong, isn't he?
Well, the movement speed comes in. There is a Callista on their own. The final chapter for the lockdown. Biblical will fall. And I think we go FF finally taking down the shutdown being picked up by Jerome.
Alrighty. Yeah, Jerome, you know, gets himself a little bit of money back. Taking down, I think we go FF. But as you can see by the gold chart, it's really not quite as much as he would like. And now with the paranoia down, you know, Celestial and Leo feeling pretty confident on top. But Howling might be about to get solo boned again. The mana's pretty low for Stego.
Howling, can he turn this around? He flashes to deny the knock-up. And Stegosaurus is forced to flash himself. The top lane is really fighting on a tightrope.
Yeah, but Stego doesn't have any mana. I think he can't even build something to give him mana. But he has just finished his Mythic. That's pretty good. And he gets a level up as well. So he's now a fair bit safer. So keep our eye on that one. See if they stick around. If he has mana for one rotation, he can get the kill on the Howling. Oh my lord.
Biblical, the render, the fate call is here, and boom goes Celestial. Leo, Lau, can he find anything? No, he cannot. Biblical picks up the kill. And oh boy, that lane did go pop.
Meanwhile, Stegosaurus got taken down in the top lane. Howling picking him up in the 1v1, now getting good damage out onto this tower. You can see getting a couple of waves too. They're gone.
Biblical. Where is your executioner's calling? Sorry.
You don't need it.
What? You're playing against an Olaf and a Yumi.
Ah, but
What
man's
you
like
saying?
Callista.
Right.
Single target burst. Callista, think about it, if you're Callista, you actually never need executioners in your life. You just need to be able to kite. Because eventually you'll have enough, enough spears, right?
Blow them up. Okay.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to set himself back the 800 gold when it's more important to get more attack speed so that you can keep kiting.
So,
Right?
what you're saying
On top of that,
is Callista's auto attacks don't do any damage.
yes.
Okay, well,
fundamentally
there's a
true.
Ragnarok coming in. When the Ragnarok ends, that's the moment for the side of, again, to go right back on in. The paranoia in. The taunt, will it connect? Yes, it will. The knock-up, the solo bolo, the bing bong, and it's a shutdown for Jerome.
Another shutdown, but it goes over to Jerome again. It's not really where you need the gold to be because Jerome can't use that advantage to then keep, I think, we go FF out the game. You know, you give it to Biblical, maybe he can do something with it, but the Nocturne versus the Olaf, especially after, you know, level 6, which was quite some time ago, there's just not really a lot for the Nocturne's going to get going, but maybe he can use this gold to try and find a couple of one-bangs onto Celestial or onto Shrimp instead. The Stegosaurus takes that tower up on top, and we've got another dragon spawning up in just about 30 seconds. Third Drake of the game, I think we go FF, you know, he's coming out 2 items and then some, making his way through onto the map as the Heimerdinger fan club look to set this one up.
But it does look like, again, I'm slowly starting to get back into this game. Yes, the goal sadly went on to Jerome and not on to Ghost of Biblical, but if they can, you know, last these fights for long enough for that Ragnarok to end, they do have the CC to be able to really commit onto the Olaf. But the issue is going to become soon Celestial's fate. Yeah,
that's been slowly getting in the works. Right now, down to be 2 warriors. I think he's just going.
Final chapter in, Ragnarok needs no CC, but into the backline, looking for Celestial. Jerome dashing forward, but can't quite get close enough. Celestial lands a condemn, and Jerome will get taken down. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the fight, the call of the forward squad finds the knock-up onto Howling, but Ghost is in a 1v3 scenario, and Celestial is firing out the arrows, firing out the silver balls, and Stegosaurus, well, he might be a dinosaur, but he ain't quite tanky.
Not quite. Taken out, taken down. The ace comes through for Heimerdinger fan club. They get themselves that 3rd dragon, and this has to be a pretty spooky looking game for AGN at this point. I mean, what can they do in that fight? Biblical just gets absolutely sprinted down by the Olaf, even, you know, without the Yumi, who after dropping the initial ult went over to Celestial, who was also putting out huge amounts of damage. Even though they at the time were 1 and 4, it's only 1 item, they're still able to just mince through the front line on that vein. And you got Celestial, or you have Leo keeping them alive. Just make everyone's life that much harder.
To be honest, considering how one-sided this game has kind of felt, it's only, you know, a 3.5k goal lead. I was expecting this to be about 7.
That's true.
So
yeah. I mean, 1,400 gold of shutdowns has gone over just from, I think we go FF alone.
True,
That's
true.
Probably worth noting. So where is the rest of the... Yeah, where is the gold at, really? I mean, top lane is not that much of a lead. He's got kills, though. But, yeah, a bit of a CS lead for Stegosaurus. Jungle, that's beyond doomed. Mid, again, there's just a bit of CS lead there. And same on bot. So it's really just the fact that everyone's got, like, 2 kills worth of CS lead in each lane that is giving a lot of extra room to breathe there over to again right now. And then, you know, the big shutdown. So, you know, imagine that Jerome is just sitting on 2k less gold right now because he hasn't got the 2 kills on, I think we go FF. I'm not actually sure if the second one was a full 1k shutdown, but felt close.
Go in, and this is one way to find a fight without the Olaf. Pop the Nico before that pesky Viking can ship his way over to the top lane.
Shrimp not able to get that ultimate off
Can
in
we look
time.
topside because there's a Yumi speeding up the Olaf, and they want a vengeance. Actually, he's not going to be able to spot them out.
Not quite. What's going on with Olaf?
Yeah,
I think
kind
we
of,
go. What's he doing?
it was weird because Jerome was like running, the Olaf was running up to them, then stopped, and then it was like, oh, Jerome started running down towards where the Olaf was and cancelled their recall along with Ghost. It was very confusing.
All gets a little bit spicy, but let's have a look. What's going on in the items? What's everyone building? I see that Stegosaurus has got a minus 100 gold, so he's busted out the old futures market tech at some point. There is a dark tech where you can go, you can get like very, very, very early Bramble Fest with it, like 2-minute Bramble Fest with it. But I think Stegosaurus didn't even need to. you just buy nothing. I think you buy like a single pot or something, and then you just come, yeah, and
Well,
you just get
to be
2
honest,
waves.
I can see it Dark Tech if you die very early on due to no
Yeah.
health, then it will be Dark Tech.
My days. It's getting a little spooky, to say the least. We look over, we've got
37
3
kills.
items. 3 items for I think we go FF. Second being picked up for Celestial, that's pretty big. And yep, there it is. Ardent Sensor and the Shirelia's finished off for Leo as well.
Undertow, almost connecting onto Ghost. Hello, Mist will prevent the second from finding it slow. Right now, the side of Heimerdinger Fan Club, they're just looking to set up vision on the bottom side of the map because there is a Drake up in just over a minute, and that's the Cloud Soul as well. That's extra movement speed on this Olaf when he drops the ultimate, the Renekton, the Yuumi, the Vayne. This is a huge Cloud Soul for them because it just means that they can run down again.
I just couldn't ask for a better one. I mean, honestly, actually, they're all really good for an Olaf, right? But
yeah,
you might be about to find out a bit of a kill. Get that speed boost coming through from Yuumi. Doesn't quite have the vision, so he just flashes. Oh no!
He got the damage, but he didn't get through the shield, did he?
I'm not sure. I think it was just the fact that it was the last. There was no shield there for Stegosaurus, so it's just, you know, in the last 0.25 seconds or so, you're not able to cancel a recall. But that is big. I think we go FF losing the flash. He kind of needs that one to be able to chase down Biblical in the fights. Yeah, Biblical gets his way over a wall or something, and there's really no way for the Olaf to follow. But Jerome pops the ult. What's going on, bot? What's Jerome looking at?
He's looking at something, and he was looking at Shrimp. He gets the kill as well. Meanwhile, the top laners are duking this one out. There is no help for them. The shot comes through. Ragnarok on the bottom side. Celestial is here as well. This should be an easy 2-kill pick up the final chapter, locking Jerome down. And dearie me, Insensitive. He's come down to the rescue, but it's only for the rescue of Heimerdinger Fan Club, who are able to pick up another kill.
Get themselves even more moolah in the pockets, and now we wonder, what is the plan? What's the next objective? We're looking for these towers. Are we thinking about the Drake? Maybe even the Baron, but it looks like the Soul will be that focus for Heimerdinger Fan Club. And oh, hang about. I mean, Callista Ornn, that is a doable Baron, but I think that you know, again, not quite looking to throw this game just yet.
Yeah, and the issue for me is, again, they've shown previously, I feel, how to win this game against Fan Club, right? You know, you've got 2 TPs against a 1 teleport composition. Play the 1-3-1 as soon as you know where the Olaf is. Play around the other side of the map. You've got the Nocturne who can show up with a Paranoia. You've got an extra teleport from Ghost. And you've got the heroic entrance from the Galio. So play around wherever the Ornn is. And they did that once. They were able to find kills. But they just haven't done that since.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard knock life. You can do it. You've got the combo, right? You've got the Nocturne, you've got the Galio. But the issue you're sort of running into now is that Shrimp is almost finished up on his. Zonya's probably got that one sitting and waiting when he goes for his next recall. Celestial probably has Leo on him, 20%. Or, you know, Celestial will be near enough to Leo. I think we go FF, and then Howling, he can just defend himself with ultimate. You're obviously not going to throw yourself onto the Olaf. So, who's the target? You know, if you're Jerome and Insensitive, who are you really looking for? Because there's no one that you can truly one-hit. As I think we go FF, picks himself up the Spirit Visage, and Jerome gets Jerome gets a Frozen Heart. But I mean, you can't attack speed slow the Olaf, and the Vayne does true damage. I mean, so does the Olaf as well. So the armor's not too useful either. It all goes very downhill very quick for Jerome, but a bit of a flash forward. Maybe try and turn this one around. Jerome has the ult.
Oh, locked down at the Callista. The Paranoia comes in under tower, but it does not matter. They're going to look for Howling. They get the knockup. Can they kill the Renekton before the Olaf shows up? And the answer is yes. Can they get through the Olaf? And the answer might very well be no. Pop Blossom down. And a pop goes more members of again. Critically, the Olaf did fall, and overall it is 4 kills for 3 in favor of the Heimerdinger Fan Club.
Ghost TP getting to a point where he can actually start to duke it out with, I think we go FF. He doesn't die to the burst. Wait out the Olaf W cooldowns, and he can start ramping up damage of his own. But the real MVP of that fight was that tower. fully ramped up, just did half of Celestial's health in like one hit, and took him down at the end of the fight. Finished off, I think we go FF as well. So whilst it looks, you know, pretty nice for the side of AGN right there, they have to get that exact same fight. If they get it without the tower, I don't think it goes their way again.
Actually, you just gave me an idea for an item. What if you had an item that buffs your tower damage, just to like prevent tower dives?
What if you had a summon spell with that?
Did a summon a spell that do that exist?
Yeah, it's called Garrison.
Oh,
yeah.
that's a pretty good name.
Already yeah, that was already a thing.
No, I don't like an I don't like a summon spell because then it doesn't do anything else. I feel like an item that gives like some health and stuff.
Where's
does that,
Ohm Wrecker?
it's like the it's the anti-Ohm Wrecker really.
Well, it was Banner of Command was close, sort of. CC Rock, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, good items. There's...
Remember when Shens would take CC Raw and Banner of Command and just like push?
I remember when I get autofilled, pick Karma mid and just lock those two in. Like, right, I will be a non-factor in this game. I will take my coin flip win, please. But right now, it's not looking like that much of a coin flip for Heimerdinger Fan Club. They're in a pretty good spot. They're in the driver's seat. They've got control of mid, but not looking up towards the Baron. Instead, we're sending 4 members down to the bot river with no intention to get any wards. And, you know, the Drake's not up, so there's really just no reason for anyone to be here. But we're still sort of chilling, having a nice little holiday. And that means that the Crab, it does actually just get sort of handed over to, again, they'll get themselves a little bit of control of the Baron. You can see they've got a lot of vision around there. So nothing sneaky going to happen for Heimerdinger quite just yet. As we're stacking 5 people just to kill an Ornn by wolves. You have to wonder if this one's really going to be worth it.
Final chapter comes down and this Ornn is just going to stay alive.
Okay, where's Biblical? Where's Biblical?
Where is Biblical? They're looking at...
Nick, there, he's on the Baron. Okay.
They are on the
Oh, he's
Baron.
not on the Baron yet. He took his time getting there, so this one doesn't get rough. This is what I'm saying.
Yes, he had to drop down the sentry. And the Baron will get down to about 8,000 HP before, again, our force backed away. That teleport not available for Stegosaurus either. Also, critically, the Ragnarok is up.
Hang about those Jerome's ult. Jerome has the ult, but he's going to need vision. He's got a pink in the pit. It's at 4k.
Paranoia.
He's in. He's got it.
He does it not dead. He gets the steal as well. The full shebang in from the side of AGN. But Biblical can't drop the damage. Ghost is doing so much work, flashing forward. Insensitive dropped in with the bait score, but he will get run down. Triple kill for Celestial, and it is only Biblical left standing.
What? Which way your tower, going? Man?
Your tower's in the other way. Use your sat nav. Celestial picks up the unofficial Quadra.
Oh my days! It's a world where that goes so much better for AGN. But
why did they commit? They had got the Baron.
Hesitation. Yeah, they got the Baron. It went okay.
Run.
Ghost TP goes in. He does a lot of damage. We've seen that he can almost take out. I think we go FF. But then Biblical pulls out Insensitive. They're out. They're gone. But then they lurk around for a couple of seconds. Insensitive jumps back into the pit, but he goes way too late. So he goes in after Ghost TP has already died. He's now stuck 1v3, loses his flash, loses his life, and Biblical's sort of hanging around because this bot lane is trying to decide, do we commit? Are we getting involved in this Baron, or are we just leaving Ghost to die? And it ends up that everyone falls, and that just cedes complete control of the map, meaning that the Heimerdinger Fan Club just make their way on over to the Elder.
I'm honestly lost for words. Jerome has a paranoia again. Round 2. Can he do it? He's looking to go in onto Celestial. They're looking to drop the damage. They're looking for the fear. But Celestial is still alive. The year of the Olaf has come to a close. The year of the Bane is now. Clap goes Celestial. And the kill for Stegosaurus. Pop goes my voice as well. Howling and Leo want revenge. And Biblical will watch from afar, not going to be able to turn it around, but regardless, it is the Fan Club who come out on top.
Go ahead and secure themselves the fight, secure the Elder, and surely the game as well. As they'll make a couple of resets and head back out onto the map, but this is just terrifying. I think at this point, I think we go FF and Leo can just take a 2v5 if they want to, but Celestial, you know, he's blown up a little bit from 1-4 to 13-6. making for another terrifying threat on this team. And in the 5v5, there's really just not a lot going for AGN right now.
I don't know what to say. It feels... AGN had the Baron. I'm still kind of molding over it, Doctor, because they had it. They then committed for the fight after they had Baron. There was no need to. I mean, I guess it shows that, again, you know, they are together in, you know, going all in, but they've lost the Baron, they've lost the Elder, now they have to sit back. So the Gwen is scaling, the ornaments are coming through. Surely it's a matter of time, it's just a matter of time before AGN can take a solid fight against Fan Club.
Well, it is and it isn't. You know, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. This is a Callista, so scaling not necessarily the name of the game for Bibcat. And again, just looking at the way the fights go, we got a lot of frontline for AGN. We got a lot of Olafs and Vaynes who like killing frontlines for the Heimerdinger squad. On top of that, they've also got an Elder buff, so that one's going to be a little bit spooky, to say the least. I mean, honestly, at this point, you can literally just sprint through that tower and just try to kill 5 people with the Olaf and the Yuumi. Olaf. Don't wait around for the waves. Let's see, how long have we got on that Baron? On the Elder even. Take a look at... Okay, so have we got that turned off, Nick? The like target frame in the bottom left? I'm going to assume it is. So maybe we can't see the actual duration left on those spells. But I feel like it's got, like, you know, I think it lasts for a minute and a half or something. So this is the time for, I think, we go FF to try and force a fight.
Goes in, but I want to look at Leo on the Yuumi. You need to be on the Vayne, not on the Olaf, I feel, because the Vayne is popping off right now.
Go on whoever. Doesn't matter. No, you go on the Olaf to start. You go on the Olaf to start the fight, and then you just transition to whoever needs you most. But honestly, yeah, you don't need to be so rigid with your thinking. You go where the winds take you. So you heal who needs it. But let's be honest, at this point, yeah, the Cloud Drakes and the Cloud Souls. But I feel like they really could have just ended the game, just straight up forcing it. Well, they got to lose at this point. You know, like,
I think Jerome has got his life that
hang
he wants to lose. He's got to go on Celestial, try to turn this around from a poor situation. The Hero's Entrance comes through on top again in a must-win situation. Again, perfectly an Elder buff. The Veer comes in. Celestial survives. In goes the Orn. The back from Celestial is absolutely massive. Ghost ties as well. And Celestial, everything was thrown at the Vayne, but Celestial comes out of it alive.
And you see just how much was thrown onto, I think, GoFF and onto Celestial, how low they got before suddenly their health bars just skyrocket back up. Through all the healing they have themselves, through the Yuumi, through the Starks, all that good jazz. You know, the Guardian Angel not even popped from, I think, GoFF, and with that, the game will finally end, and Heimerdinger Fan Club secure themselves that nice and juicy 3rd place prize here at the Wan Yu Cup.
Wow. I mean, for the Heimerdinger Fan Club, it's weird. It's like they picked an actual draft and they played so much better than they did against YIA in the semi-finals.
Yeah, very different. Very different. I mean, the way that we got to the draft, you see, is still a little lopsided, right?
Yep.
With the you know, the Yuumi coming out so early and the blind Nico, but at the end of the day, they got comfortable. They got the early money that they needed on Olaf, and they got that snowball going, earned themselves this spot. Great comeback from Celestial as well. Obviously, you know, like I said, going from 1-4 to 13-6 or whatever it was, he ended up finishing the game. That's usually pretty good. Yeah.
It was a very good performance on him from the Vayne because so much was thrown, and he had to play that phenomenally well to be able to stay alive and continue dishing out the damage.
Yeah, indeed he did. But that will be it from us for now. We'll be taking a short break before we hop back with our grand finals. Should be a best of 3 versus from, yeah, I agree. We'll be coming up against Ratty Obani Utes. I don't know what any of that means, but they apparently won the other semi-final. That was not streamed. So we'll be right back in just a few minutes.